I'm going to move on just real quick to the jury. Um, Dave Leffner was here earlier, as was Christine Schumacher. I saw both of them here for part of the time. Keiko, the selection criteria is here, and it's also on our website, I believe. Molly, is it on? Did we put this on the website? The jurors criteria? Do you know?
Um, I don't think it is.
Okay, let's if you wouldn't mind on next week, help me get that on there as well.
Yeah.
Um, so first for artists or storytellers, we create today for tomorrow. The most compelling artwork both reflects our time and prompts us to think differently about the world as it is and how it can be the future. So to select this year's winning artwork for Ink and Clay 45, The Art of Type, I use these three judging criteria. And again, this is from the Clay juror. First, artwork that's compelling and engages with contemporary events that affect millions of people's lives, including but not limited to the global pandemic, the rising tide of hatred, bigotry, racism, and anti-Semitism across the world, climate change, gendered, economic, and structural inequity, and more. So I think that for her, the content was really important. Second, the artwork that highlights the artistry and process of working with clay, including pieces that challenge the form as a worthy material and art form. I believe without exception that these innovative approaches lead to more original creations and will ultimately amplify inventive explorations of clay art. Third, this year's exhibition theme is the use of type, lettering, symbols, text, etc. Therefore, I lean towards selecting artworks that utilize the symbolic and visual power of text, type, and lettering rather than purely relying on it as subject matter. These pieces show how work can stand strongly on its own merit, even without us necessarily being able to read the words, much like how music is able to evoke and communicate feeling and emotion universally across languages and cultures. And then David, who was here earlier, and that is much shorter, so I'll read it quickly. Being an art juror, and interesting about David is he's a printmaker, very prolific, very well known. Lives in the LA. His studio is in the brewery complex in LA, and he's been in Ink and Clay as a participant many years ago, and won awards. And so it's the second time I've invited him to be a juror because of the fact that he does use type in his work, as does Keiko in her work with using symbols and decals and things like that. But David, being an art juror for a themed exhibition is always an exciting process for me because I feel like I get the first opportunity to see and recognize something truly original. In this case, I get to witness how each individual artist has a completely different interpretation of what type means to them, all within the parameters of ink and clay. For me personally, I like to see a weighted balance between theme and medium, where concept and execution are both integral to the finished piece. And then last but not least, Christine was also here. Sorry, I believe I'm cutting some of their biography off. It was a pleasure to work with Ink and Clay 45 for the Kellogg University Art Gallery. It was wonderful to see how artists took the media of ink and clay to experiment, play, invent, investigate, communicate, activate, and express an inclusive and diverse style of work. The selection process for the exhibition was not easy with over 250 works. My process for choosing the works for the show focused on craftsmanship, execution of material, message, and cohesiveness with the other works presented. So that does it for the virtual part and the talk and tour part. I would like to go ahead and announce the awards as well. And I'm going to do that by going back to the PowerPoint presentation. I'm just going to do one last little journey through the space so you can see it on its way out as though you were leaving. Um, the curatorial panel is also here introducing the viewer to the space, which you can also read on the website. So that does it for the virtual exhibition. I'm just going to go ahead and close that down right now. So I think we can move along to the awards right now. And again, I'm sorry this took a lot longer than anticipated, but I think it really was a really rich experience to hear the words from the artists themselves about the work. And I hope that that you all enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
So next to announce, these are just the Jurors' Choice Award winners, and I want you all to know that we usually have Jurors' Choice. We also have When we do the physical show, we're going to do purchase awards. We just cannot give awards for something and purchase something without seeing it in person. So we are giving the Jurors Choice Awards out, and there may be additional Jurors Choice Awards when we do see the show live and in person. But the purchase awards, the President's Award and the award that is the Colonel Jones Memorial Award that is also a purchase award, and any other purchase awards will be done in fall of 2022. I also have my awards that I'm going to give out, but I'm also giving them out as the director of the gallery. The director's awards will be given out in the fall of 2022 as well. But we wanted to give you something for all of your hard work and for working with us on this year on this virtual exhibition. And the jurors were really excited to give out these awards, and they given us a really wonderful list of recommendations for the purchase awards. So some of the ones that won awards here are going to be considered for purchase award winners, as well as another slurry of about 12 to 15 other additional pieces that the jurors recommended. So they have a list of a total of about 20 plus awards that they're recommending for a purchase. So there's 6 honorable mentions from the jurors. Each juror had selected 2 honorable mentions. The ink juror, David Leffner, picked 2 ink pieces. The clay juror picked 2 clay pieces, I believe. And the curatorial juror, Christine Schumacher, picked 1 ink, I believe, and 1, we'll see, 1 that was a combination. There are 2 second place awards in each of the 2 categories and 3 first place awards in each of the 3 categories. So by 2 categories, I mean ink and clay. And when I say 3 categories, it's ink alone, clay alone, and then also combination. And the monetary awards, I didn't mention the first place awards are $500 a piece, and the second place are $300 a piece. The honorable mentions will receive a certificate and $100 award. So, and we usually don't give awards, like monetary awards, to honorable mentions, but this year we agreed that we could do that. So the first honorable mention in ink by the ink juror is to Robert Alexander for Terrain Tier Partie number 1, which we talked about earlier. The on the second honorable mention, this is the clay juror's honorable mention in clay, goes to Marie Nage for her text bubbles voices. Okay, so Andra Brockelschen, this is again the ink juror's choice honorable mention for ink, goes to Andra Brockelschen. And then the clay juror's choice honorable mention in clay goes to Shoko Tanaka for the Pills, Project Pills piece. The curatorial juror's choice honorable mention in ink goes to Jane Springwater. Congratulations, Jane, if you're still with us.
Good.
The curatorial juror's choice honorable mention combination ink and clay goes to Kathy Yoshihara for your Mako piece. I hope you're still here to hear that announcement. Not okay. Andrew Lawson, we know, is not here, but got the juror's choice unanimous. All 3 jurors agreed that this got an honorable mention and a second place ink award. Doing kind of weird things. Luciano Pimienta, juror's choice unanimous honorable mention, given a second place award in clay. So we have they were unanimous honorable mentions that we therefore moved them up to a second place in both of those cases. And then the next are the 3 first place awards in each category. Sarah Bryant, again, I believe she's no longer with us today, but her Radiant Republic piece really blew the jurors away, especially if you watch the video and you see all of the nuances to the work. Jason, congratulations. I hope that I hope you're still here to see this.
Yeah, I am. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, you have won the first place in clay from the jurors. Well deserved. All
It's an
of
honor.
these are all of these are well deserved, but I'm glad that you got that. And then also Joy Naj for your immigrant letters and your use of the QR code. It was something that the jurors were really blown away by as well. So congratulations to Joy and all of the artists for your contributions and for participating and really for enriching our lives today on a very, very important day. There will be more awards to come in fall of 2022, and I hope that you will all join us. Obviously, we want to be able to bring this show physically to fruition. So we look forward to working with everyone in the summer of next year for shipment and delivery. If this pandemic doesn't get under control, we may have to do all shipped artwork and not do any delivery, which is going to increase some expenses for some people. But we'll try to do the best we can to help with what we need to there. Um, the university art galleries, are composed of the Kellogg University Art Gallery and the Huntley Art Gallery in the library. They compose together 3,000 or 5,000 square feet of space. The Kellogg University Art Gallery is the larger of the two and is supported by an endowment by the Kellogg family way back in the day. And the Huntley Gallery is supported by the Huntley Endowment, both important donors, as well as I mentioned earlier, the Colonel Jones Endowment and the Bruce Jewett endowments now help to support the ink and clay exhibitions each year that we're able to do them. So please see our contact information here. Please go to our websites if you want to see any more about the works. env.cpp.edu/Kellogg is the university's site. And then we have a special site just for ink and clay each year. www.inkandclay45.com. This may be one of the last years that we will be outsourcing that second website. It was only done because of the fact that we were in the process of improving our website on campus. And now that that has come to fruition and our website is really wonderful, our current website for the campus is really great. We may be pulling away from doing those, the ink and clay sites on their own that we outsource. Please join us, when you're posting artwork on social media, please use our hashtags. We're still doing the Artist Challenge 2021. So if you use that hashtag in Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, it goes into a page that we end up curating from and will periodically feature what artists are doing. And this came out of the pandemic. It was a way of still supporting artists out in the community with their work while they were shut down and unable to go to class or be in a studio with other people and had to stay at home. And we wanted to be able to give a place for artists to be able to expose their work. And so we created this hashtag for artists to make sure that the word artist is plural and that you put the year. And we've been doing this for 2020 and for 2021. And if you ever do ink and clay work, always do the hashtag ink and clay without the ampersand, even though we use it in the title of the show. And this year, Ink and Clay 45, if you want to post anything about your experience today, please do. We just love everyone's feedback, and we really just hope everyone really enjoyed this today. I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I think it's gone relatively well. And I just thank you all for making it so wonderful with your amazing work, and thank all my staff and my students who work so hard with me every day and all summer, and every day that they're here, they make a difference in my ability to function. So I thank them, and I thank all of you for participating and for sticking around as long as you did today. And this video was being recorded, and you can always we'll have it on the website, and you'll be able to download it and show it to others if you'd like. We'll probably edit it a little bit as well. to cut down any slow areas. But anyway, thank you all, and you know, please come and see us, and come and see us soon if you're local. Like I said, we do have an opening this week. It's a soft opening. You can come anytime between September 15th to December 1st. And you can see the graphic posters show dealing with women's rights or human rights. And then don't forget that in October, we are also doing the La Biblioteca artists books from Los Angeles and Italia in the Huntley Gallery. And that will be opening on October 17th from 2 to 4. Okay, so please do join us if you're local. And we love seeing you, even if it has to be at 6 feet and with a mask. But that's how you're going to see me if you see me here, and all my staff. So thank you all very much for joining us, and I give you some applause.
Everybody. Thank you.
Feel-
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Feel
Thank you,
free to
Michelle.
shout out. Thank you all very much for being here.